And I will call this meeting to order at 6:05 PM. This is a meeting of the Tax Policy Committee of the East Hartford Town Council. May I get a motion for the approval of minutes from March 31st, 2025?
So moved.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Got ahead of myself. All right, and I will second that.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, opposed. Motion carries. Opportunity for residents to speak, if there are any residents present anywhere. And if not, the new business is tax lien sales. Director McCaw, want to tell us what's going on?
All right, well, good evening. You have before you our annual package of real property to be considered for the annual tax lien sale. As you know, the council does adopt a budget and assumes a specific tax collection rate. And it's necessary that property owners pay their taxes in order to meet the appropriated budget. We are 9 months through the fiscal year, so we have 3 months remaining to ensure that we have the revenues in place to meet all of our expenses. This year's list, we have 2 lists as we did last year. The first contains non-mobile home properties. There are 142 non-mobile home properties that are delinquent with total outstanding balances of $1,790,024. And then in addition, that 1.8 million does include the $24 lien fee adjustment on all the 2024 grand list bills, which is for fiscal year 26. And then for the second year, I have presented to you delinquencies on mobile homes. There's 69 properties with a proposed separate tax lien sale of $635,000. You'll recall last year was the first time that we included our mobile home, and we did find that property owners did pay. I think there is north of $250,000 in tax collections that we otherwise would not have received, and it really allowed them to get back on track, which is of great importance. The package here, as you know, we would need to complete the tax lien sale by August 31st, 2026 per GASB rules in order to credit those receipts towards the current fiscal year. And our tax policy criteria has not changed. This is a list that represents properties that have either delinquency that's greater than $10,000, or if they have delinquency that is 3 grand list years or greater. Just as a reminder, we do send our tax bills out consistent with what's required by statute before the due date, after the due date, and when it becomes delinquent. We mail all the tax bills to the property addresses. If payments are not received or there's a balance remaining, by law, we're required to send a delinquent letter that's provided in August. After the second tax bill is noticed and published, if the payment is not received in full, then in February, the property owners receive a demand letter. And then in March, when remounts are further unpaid, there is a notice of intention to file a lien letter that is mailed out to the property owner. And then, of course, if the amounts remain unpaid, then the lien is filed. So we do follow statute and make sure that our property owners are properly noticed. Now, the one thing I wanted to remind us of is that we have traditionally offered a payment plan arrangement, and last year you approved 2 payment plans. Our traditional payment plan requires that property owners provide a 25% of their outstanding amount due. They cannot have previously defaulted in a prior payment arrangement. And if they are able to make that payment, then they would be able to be removed from the lien sale process. So it allows them to get on a payment plan, get back on track, and not have to incur the additional lien fees. We did put a second payment arrangement in last year, and that was just recognizing for our mobile home property owners that was the first year that they were going to receive notices of a lien sale. And you did provide me with some flexibility through the tax collector's office to recognize where there's a hardship that the property owner could not meet this 25%, that we could reduce that to 15%. And in both cases, the payment plans were utilized, and those property owners were able to get back on track. So the package before you today is similar as last year, no change in any of the criteria. And I also note that there are 66 properties that previously have been the liens have been purchased. And based on that contractual language, the company that owns those liens, they have a contractual right to and they're required to actually purchase subsequent liens. So that is $530,000 that the Corporation Counsel Office will be assigning appropriately. So that summarizes our package that's here before us today. Happy to take any questions.
Who has questions?
Yeah, just as a quick follow-up, Melissa. So how many properties took advantage of the, I guess, that modified payment plan last year?
Let me see if I have that for you. Let's see here.
Just for the mobile.
Just for the mobile homes. Let's see here. I brought last year's memo. Let's see. Okay. So last year we started for the mobile homes, we had 81 properties. And after offering the payment plans, first noticing of the lien, and then offering the payment plans, the 81 properties was reduced to 45 properties. And while I don't have the exact number of properties, so that was about a 36 property reduction. Some of that was due to full payment and or a payment plan. So it was a mixture. And when we look at the total amount, so of the $736,000, 231,000 was collected. And so that's a mixture again of payments and or payment plans. And actually, in fact, my memo notes here of the 233,000 we collected, 65,000 represented payment plan down payments. So call it 25%, if you will, of all payments that came in and that mitigated a lien sale came because they took advantage of our payment plan.
So 75% paid.
75% paid, 25% entered into a payment arrangement.
So definitely not a hardship.
Do you anticipate utilizing this again this year?
Well, you gave flexibility last year, and I recommend the same. You know, if we present the traditional payment plan and they're able to meet the 25%, then the tax collector would move forward with that. But if the property owner indicates they cannot come up with the 25%, then I'd recommend the flexibility because it encourages some payment being made as opposed to pushing it off and having them incur an even, larger 15% fee on top of their delinquent balance.
Okay, thank you.
Travis, you have questions?
Oh, I sure do.
He's ready.
Go for it.
All right, so the traditional properties that we've been handling that for years, I don't really have any problems there. These trailer homes really bother me. There are people on this list with 15 years of non-payment, and the trailers are worth a decent amount of money. I was just spot checking a few of them. You're talking 80, 75. I mean, these things are not cheap. The other problem that I have is especially the ones down in Rivermead North and South. They're supposed to be replacing 65 trailers this year with new ones. So my concern is, are any of these properties ones that Rivermead has already taken the property over, disposed of the trailer, and is now putting a brand new home on that lot, and the town is just now out that 15 years worth of, tax revenue that we never got? So I'd like to follow up with Rivermead to find out and make sure that if we have a lien on the property, I don't want to punish Rivermead, but by the same token, the town has a lien against it. They can't just take the trailer off, throw it away, and then put a brand new one on there and, start recouping the money again. And I really want us to find a way to make these parks somewhat responsible, because these people that are 15 years behind, I guarantee are not 2 months behind to Rivermead, because Rivermead takes that debt seriously and they go after them immediately. I really feel like some of these people have been taking advantage of us. So that's the twofold on this that I really would like to see us do, is one, follow up with Rivermead to make sure that the properties are physically still there. If not, notify them that we have a lien on those properties. and maybe even offer to let them buy the tax lien. That way, when they do decide to renovate and put a new trailer on them, they can go ahead and clear it and put it on there. Otherwise, I think one of the only collection methods we have is to tell Rivermead, we're not going to allow you to, foreclose on that property on your end,
Mhm.
put a new trailer there and start recouping the money until the town's made whole. So we need to put it into their best interest. They've got the collection methods. They know these people. I don't want to be a hard ass, but by the same token, 15 years of not paying your taxes.
Right.
If we had cars in town that were worth $80,000 and people weren't paying their taxes on them, we would be doing something about it.
Mhm. So Travis, it's excellent points. So just to give you an update, historically, our approach to tax collections has been the standard delinquency notices, the tax lien sale, and then we use an outside tax collection agency. They're more of like a robo-calling, robo-email, robo-letter.
But we were having a problem getting them to buy the trailer homes. That's why we kind of stopped.
That's right. So what we are finding, we've recently have engaged in conversations with two other companies that they're law firms. And so a lot of municipalities have moved away from kind of like a tax collection business, more of to a legal entity. Municipalities are finding that it's more effective when they get the notice from a law firm. They're able to have conversations with them to help them understand their legal responsibilities. So that's one shift that we're going to be making with respect to who's handling collection on our behalf. But it also opens us up to additional tools with lawyers that have a niche specialty in this area. So what I'd like to do is to raise this issue with the law firm. It's Rossi Law Firm is who we're going to be working with, and see what they advise us of what we can, what's the maximum options under statute. And then I'll bring that back to the tax policy committee for consideration. It's another area that I will be bringing back is personal property. This is real property, but then there's a whole delinquency on personal property that needs a modern approach to addressing that delinquency is growing. So I'll bring both of those back to the committee for discussion, and maybe even invite Rossi in to describe what our other options are and to really determine where the comfort level is, in terms of this council and the mayor.
Okay, and just kind of make them aware that especially that particular park is undergoing a significant reinvestment. I
Okay.
hear that they're contemplating sales. They're trying to drive their numbers up.
Yep.
So how do we make sure that we're made whole as
Okay.
part of that? My other question is we went down, but now we're back up to 69 properties in the trailer home side of
Mhm.
things, and we're back up to $635,000 of
Right.
uncollected.
Yes.
So I'm glad that we've made progress,
Mhm.
and I don't want to, take the tools away with the 15% or anything else, because this is only the second year in a good long time that
Right.
we're actually trying to
Yes.
step up enforcement.
Mhm.
But I personally would like to see us only give one, maybe 2 more years.
Okay.
And then we need to kind of take a little bit of a hard approach to
Consistency.
get these guys back in line, because there's no reason for 15 years and you haven't even reached out, tried to work something out, tried to do
Right.
something.
Right. And we suspect, and based on the calls that have come in, they were extremely surprised to see the town taking another collection method, which caused them to be a little bit more serious about it. So one of the things we'll do an analysis on is take a look at the delinquencies this year. Are they the same folks that were there last year, to see if maybe behavior has changed for some property owners? I will take a look at that before the next time we get back together. But that's a good point. A 2-year time frame for this softer approach, and then treat all delinquent property owners consistently.
Well, I think I told you last year, because I lived down in that area,
Yeah.
people in the park were bragging to each other about the fact that if they didn't pay their taxes,
They
the
can get
town
away
didn't
with
do anything about it. That's why I wasn't surprised that 75%
Mm-hmm.
came in and just paid the bill, because it wasn't really I'm sure for some people it's
Sure.
not one size fits all,
Yep.
but by and large, this big of a problem is not
Mhm.
because everybody down there is having a hardship
Not
issue.
taking it seriously.
So it was neighbors talking to each other and saying, hey, don't bother. There's no teeth behind that.
Mhm.
We need to get the teeth back into it,
Mhm.
because that's a significant portion. It's significant money.
It is.
We wouldn't tolerate it from any other type of property and just ignore it.
Mhm.
So,
Agreed.
and then the last one that I had was, okay, so the previous liens have already been sold. Now this year they haven't paid again. Those automatically get to the same.
Correct.
Do we still give them the same notice that, hey, we're about to add to your lien, and give them the chance to come in and pay before we technically sell it to?
They have a contractual right to those liens. So they're getting noticed of delinquency. They're still getting notice that those liens will be bought. They do still get the notice. They
So they
could
get the
still
same
take
notice
action.
and everything else to take
Absolutely.
action to stop the bleeding, even though they've got
Correct.
others. We don't just
Correct.
instantly sell them
No.
all. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that they were all
Yes.
still getting the
Yes.
same type of notice. Okay, that's all I had is really, getting after Rivermead and then starting to put some teeth behind the mobile homes.
Okay.
'Cause that seems like a problem that's gotten a little out of hand. Thanks.
Welcome.
Don, do you have more?
Nope, that's it. And Travis makes a lot of good points. So
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
interested in hearing what's
Time to
going on
tighten
here.
this thing up.
Yes.
I have two.
Sure.
One is, what is the $24 lien fee adjustment?
When we have to place a lien on a property, there's a fee that's added by statute. There's a $24 lien fee. So that gets added to their account.
Okay.
It's a
That's always
processing
been
fee,
like
yeah.
that. I just never paid attention to it, I
Yes.
guess. Okay.
Yeah, no change there.
All right, that was easy. And then the other one is I have from my notes from last year that we had a delinquency on a Port East Side property of more than $77,000 and that we weren't going to sell the lien because it wouldn't help with our development efforts, but they're aware of the delinquency. And my question is, whatever happened with that one?
They get current. They paid the bill.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yes.
That is all then, or that's all my questions anyway. If nobody has any more or comments or anything, then Don, when you're ready, can do your motion.
Okay, sounds good. I move to recommend that the town council authorize to conduct a tax lien sale by way of a request for proposal, RFP, and to seek and receive sealed bids pursuant to an invitation to bid on a number of tax liens on specific real property as based on a list of 142 non-mobile home properties totaling $1,790,024 in delinquent taxes and the list of 69 mobile home properties totaling $635,624 in delinquent taxes as attached to a memorandum dated March 11, 2026 from Finance Director Melissa McCaw to Mayor Connor S. Martin, subject to the following four conditions. 1. The collector of revenue shall notify the record owner of each property subject to a lien that is to be included in the tax lien sale by certified mail, that the lien is being included in the request for proposal and invitation to bid, and that the owner should contact the town immediately to pay taxes or seek a payment plan if they wish to keep the town's tax liens on their property from being sold. 2. In order to qualify for a payment plan, the property owner must meet the following three criteria. They must remit 25% of the outstanding amount due. They cannot have defaulted on a prior payment arrangement. Their property must not have active property code violations. 3, the letters from the collector of revenue to each property owner shall notify the property owner that the purchase of the tax lien on their property shall have the right to foreclose on that property. And 4, the administration shall return to the town council with the results of the request per proposal, and that the proposal for each tax lien must be approved by the town council before it is sold.
Is there a
And
second?
I will second that. I just have a quick point for discussion.
Sure.
Do you need us to put anything in there about the 15%, the leeway that you've got with the trailer properties to go down to 15% if there's a hardship? Does that motion still cover us, or does it need to put something else in there?
Did you specify it in the motion?
No,
It doesn't
just
say
mentions
it there.
25.
No, when it goes to council last year, the motion was fleshed out further to specify the
Okay.
payment plan.
Okay,
Okay.
my second still stands. I just wanted to make sure we covered ourselves.
Yep, good catch. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. And I'll take a motion to adjourn if we are done, unless anybody has anything else.
Oh, thanks, everyone.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned at 6:24 PM. Thanks so much, everybody.
Excellent.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
take care, buddies.